Hey, let's do a lot today. Let's do dot plots, let's do frequency tables, let's do relative frequency tables, let's do histograms. You might be like, oh, but they're all very visual and very fun. So it might be an all right day after all. Okay, let's start with dot plots. So you may have heard these called line plots. All they do is they visually show you something. For example, this shows what students got on a quiz score, and every little dot stands for a student. That student right there got a 40%. That student got a 50%. These students, there were 3 students that got 60%, okay? It'll show you how many people got 100%. 2 people got 100% on the quiz. So it's a good way of saying, you know what, it looks like a lot of like majority, the average, the median of people got 80%. I feel pretty good about that. And you might be like, these students were absent or sick or didn't care, right? So it just helps you visually see things, okay? So we're going to do dot plots today. We're also going to do frequency tables, which also show you information. A frequency table shows you how frequently something happened. So if we're talking about English test scores, the score 41 to 50% showed up one time, meaning one person got a score between 40 and 50%, okay? 2 people got 50 to 60%. Okay, and you can kind of see, 7 people did really well. They got in the 90s. 20 people, a good chunk of the class, got a passing score of 81 to 90. So just another way to visually see things, okay? So let's try it. Hannah is training for a walkathon. The table shows the number of miles she walks each day. She has 1 day left in her training. How many miles is she most likely to walk on the last day? Now, if we were just to look at all of these numbers, we might not be able to do a good job guessing how many miles she is most likely to walk. But if we put all of this information in a dot plot, we might be able to answer that question a little bit more. So here's how we do a dot plot. Here's how I do it. Okay, it looks like we're going from 1 to 9, so I'm going to label my number line, just count by ones, all the way, whatever. Okay. Now, what I like to do is I like to go and do, all right, there's a 1. So I'm going to cross it off and put a 1. And then I maybe will look for 2s and see 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to make 1, 2, 3. That means there were 4 days where she walked 2 miles. I see how many 3s. 1, 2, 3 3s. 1, 2, 3. And one thing I want you to notice is that I'm going to try to keep it all equal. They're all my 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s. I'm going to keep them all equal so it can give me a good visual of how frequently something happens. Okay. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 9s. All right, so looking at this information, if she were to walk one more day, how many miles do you think she would walk? I would guess probably either 4 or 5 miles, because that seems to be what she does more often than not. So that's how that histogram, that dot plot kind of helps us visualize and be able to answer that question in a very probable way. Okay? All right, so now let's do a frequency table. The way we do a frequency table is it gives us just information about how long Jill worked out for. So if you look, they've already started. They've already found out that she worked out for 30 minutes 7 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, how many times did she work out for? 60 minutes? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 times. How many times did you work out for an hour and a half? 90 minutes? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And how many times did you work out for 2 hours? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I kind of can look over and see that I've crossed everything out so I didn't miss anything. So here is a frequency table. Now, if I want to make a relative frequency table, I take it a step further. And what I do for that is I now do the percentage. And let me show you how to do the percentages. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 28 total days. Okay, so as a fraction, that was 7 out of the 28 days. Now, how do I make that as a percent? Well, I fractionate and control it. 7 divided by 28 is 25 hundredths, which is 25% of the time. So what this relative frequency table shows us is that 25% of the time, she's working out for 30 minutes. Okay, now if we go 11 out of 28, remember there were 28 total days that she worked out, and I could get that by going, adding up these. I guess I better check and see if that really is 28. 7 times 11, oh, not times. Click, 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 click. 7 plus 11 plus 4 plus 6. Yeah, 28 times. Okay, so 11 divided by 28 is a very long number. I'm going to round that to 39% of the time. She worked out for 60 minutes. Okay, now if she worked out 4 out of the 28 days, 4 divided by 28 would be 14% of the time. And then 6 out of 28 of the days, fractionating control that. And again, we get another, let's round it to the nearest hundredth, 21% of the time. So that is a relative frequency table. It shows us the percentage of the time. So we know that 21% of the time she worked out for 2 hours. All right, let's try another relative frequency table. A fitness center surveyed 60 people on what they would rate the fitness center. Create a relative frequency table with the information. So here's how we do that. In order to make a percent, I like to start with a fraction. And with a fraction, we have the part over the whole, correct? So let's figure out what the whole is by adding all of these numbers up. So we've got 18, 15 people rated it good, 21 people rated it fair, 6 people said it was a poor fitness center. So 60, oh, and I think I wrote that up here, huh? There were 60 total people who surveyed. So what we'll do is we'll write 18 out of 60 people rated it an excellent fitness center. So to figure out what percent that is, let's fraction and control it. We have 0.3. Now 0.3 is the decimal. Let's scoop that twice to make it a percent. So 30% of the time, here's another cheat sheet. To scoop twice, you times by 100. And that will give you a percent, 30% right there. Okay. 30% of the people think that that fitness center is great. 15 out of 60 people think it's good, which ends up being 25% of the people think it's a good health or fitness center. 21 out of 60 said it's fair. 21 out of 60 is 35%. And 6 people were like, it's a poor place to work out. And that's 0.1. Scoop that twice to make it 10%. Now, what should happen is when you add up all those percents, it should equal 100%, which it does right here. So this is the percentage of people that rated it excellent, good, fair, and poor. So that's a frequency table. Kind of cool, huh? Let's do one more dot plot. Let's do it all. Let's do a dot plot, a frequency table, and then lead it onto a relative frequency table. So I've got it started a little bit. This is the daily distance that Lionel biked. Okay, he biked for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He biked for 25 days, and we're going to figure out lots of information about that. Okay, so let's start with 3. 1, 2, 3. So 3 days he biked 3 kilometers. 1 day he biked 4 kilometers. 1, 2, 3 days it was 5 kilometers. 6 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kilometers. So there were 5 days where he biked for 6 kilometers. He never biked 7. 3 days he biked 8 kilometers. Ooh, that wasn't very straight. Let me do that a little bit better. 9. He biked 9 kilometers 1 day. 10 kilometers 2 days. 11 kilometers 1 day. 12 kilometers another day. Okay. So we're not going to do a frequency table with 1, 2, 3, 4, like that's kind of long. So what we're going to do with this frequency table is we're going to group it like this. Every 3 kilometers, we're going to put into its own little table. Okay, and it's important to keep it equal, 3, 3, 3, 3, to keep it accurate. So how many times did he bike 1 to 3 kilometers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times. How many times did he bike 4 to 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. 1, 2, 3 times. And 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Okay, so there's our frequency table, our dot plot, then our frequency table. Now let's do the relative frequency table. So it's going to be 8 out of, ended up being 25, huh? 9 out of 25 days, 3 out of 25 days, 4 out of 25 days. Now we could fractionate control all of these, or we could, 25 goes into 100 really well, right? So if we wanted, we could just times all these by 4 and get 32 over 100, which is 32%. Okay, times by 4 would give us 36 over 100, which is 36% of the time he biked between 4 and 6 kilometers. 12% of the time, because I times by 4, he biked 7 to 9 kilometers. And then if I wanted to fractionate control, I could go 4 divided by 25 and get 16 hundredths or 16%. Okay, so that is how you do dot plots and frequency tables. But we're not done. We're going to take it a step further, and I'm going to show you how to create histograms. So you can see that histograms are graphs with intervals. What I mean by intervals is it says 20 to 29. This is everyone in that 20 to 29 category. And they use rectangles. And it's important with these histograms that there's no gaps between. For whatever reason, histograms will not look like this, where you have like skinny rectangles. Okay, you will always have big fat rectangles that are touching each other. I don't know why. But let's look at this information. So these are the ages of Best Actor winners from 1990 to 2009. Here are some things we can see. We can see that there was one actor who was between the ages of 20 and 29 when he won the award for the Best Actor. We can see that right here, there were 6 people who were in their 30s when they won, and 8 people in their 40s, 3 people in their 50s, and 2 people in their 60s that won. So we can see that visually. Now we can answer some more questions about it as well. So the first question is, how many actors were in their 40s? Well, let's look at their 40s, and we can see that there were 8 actors. How many actors were younger than 40? So this one's a little bit different. Younger than 40. Well, 30 to 39 is younger than 40, but so is 20 to 29. So let's group them together, and let's take that one actor there and those 6 actors, add them together, and there were 7 actors who were younger than 40 when they won. How many actors were 52 when they won? Could we answer that question? No. So there are some drawbacks to histograms, and one is you can't get too specific. All I know is that there were 3 people who were in their 50s, but I don't know if they were 52 or 59 or 50, so I can't answer that. So some information we don't get from histograms, but we can get a lot of information, okay? So how do we make it a histogram? Let's find out. The first thing you do is do what I just barely taught you, which was to make a frequency table with equal intervals. Do you remember with this frequency table, we had it every 3? You can often choose what intervals you do. You can do it intervals of 3 kilometers, 10, 22, however you want it. They are going to have us do the ages of Best Actress winners by intervals of 10. So your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. So we're going to group them in intervals of 10. Okay, so we already did, there were 7 people. So these are actresses now, girls that were the best actress for that year. Okay, how many women were in their 30s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, 10 people were in their 30s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Sorry, 10 people are in their 30s. 5 people are in the 40s. What's up? If you wait, I will come say bye to you. Do you want to say hi to everyone? Good night. We won't tell everyone how late it is.
It's 10:05.
No, it's not. One woman was in her 60s, and no one was in their 70s. And so we've got all information. Now we can graph it. So 7 people are in their 20s. That matches up. 10 people are in their 30s. That matches up. 5 people in their 40s. That's going to stay at 0. We're going to go up to 1 for the 60s. There were no people in their 70s and 1 person in their 80s. And you can fill it in if you'd like. All right, so now we can answer some questions about these actresses. Question 1. How many actresses were 60 or older when they won? 60 or older would be all of these people, right? And there were only 2 actresses who won in their 60s. How many actresses were in their 20s? 7 actresses. And what percent of actresses were between the ages of 40 and 69? So we got to go between 40 and 69. Okay, well, there were 5 40-year-olds, 1 60-year-old, and that would give us 6, but it's asking for a percent. So that's our part. What is our whole? How many total actresses were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 24 total actresses. Let's turn that into a decimal. 6 divided by 24 would be 25. So 25% of the actresses were between 40 and 60, 40 to 69. We can look at this and we can clearly see that the majority of actresses, the majority of actresses were like young, as in 50, maybe not young, but less than 50 years old, right? In fact, all but 2 of them were. So that's kind of cool that the histogram can show us that. You're making me nervous, Maya. Go to bed. I'll come talk to you later. Well, then kill it.
I don't have any shoes
Grab
on.
Porter.
I did. He just went to his
Grab
room.
shoes. You're fine. Here, grab my shoe.
No, you
It's just a bug.
Should you ruin your video?
She's trying to. Kill that bug for me. Porter, quit being a wimp. Okay, I'm going to let you guys do the very last one on your own, and then we are almost done with this video. Okay. Complete a frequency table, histogram for the information of this health club, of ages of people at the health club. Okay, so there were 2 people in their teens, right there. How many people are in their 20s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people in their 20s. 2, 3, 4, 5 people in their 30s. 2 people in their 40s. Don't put it back on the table. Thanks, Mike. Okay, so how many total people was that? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 total people. All right, let's graph it. So it looks like they chose intervals of 10 as well. So we'll go 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, and 40 to 49. We'll go up to 2. We'll go, I'm going to make that a little more even, up to 2. Up to 6. Up to 5. And 2. Perfect. There is our histogram. Let's answer some questions about them. How many people were in their 40s at the health club? There were 2. We can see it there, and we can see it on the histogram, right? 2 people. What percentage of people at the health club are 20 to 29? There's 20 to 29. That's 6. But we need that as a percent. So 6 out of 15. Which is 40%. Almost half of the people were in their 20s. And use the health club histogram to determine the percent of the people at the health club who are 30 or older. So that would be 30 or older, which is 5 and 2. 7 out of 15, which is 46,666. Let's round that up to 47. Right? Am I doing that right? Yes. Okay. So that is how you create dot plots, frequency tables, relative frequency tables, and histograms. That was a lot for one day. You guys have got it, though. You're awesome. Good luck.